What's up, everybody? Garrett back here, and what I'm doing today is something I didn't think I was going to do, and that's review Terrifier 2. Now, the first thing I want to say is, can you believe I'm going to review Terrifier 2 with these posters in my background, celebrating the Christmas season? I've got all these Christmas movies in the back, not really something that really matches Terrifier 2. So what I want to do is I want to talk about my history with this franchise. When this first came out, the original Terrifier, everybody was hyping it up. So I knew it was something I wanted to check out. So I bought the DVD, and honestly, I did not like that movie one bit. I thought it was just nonsense. There wasn't a lot of explanation. It was like a cat and mouse with like excessive, unnecessary gore, just for the sake of being gory. I just found nothing appealing about this movie. I just thought it was a big waste, and I felt like it was really overhyped. Now, I kind of felt like I was on a small island because I knew a lot of people really liked this Art the Clown character and were kind of putting him as like the next horror icon. And I just really never got it. I didn't understand it. When they announced Terrifier 2, I was like, I'm not even gonna watch this thing. I have no interest in Terrifier, no interest in Art the Clown. But after reviews started coming out, and especially from people who I respect, they told me, you're gonna love this movie, give it a chance. I was like, no, I have no interest in this thing. They said, please just give it a chance. It's gonna be a cult classic. So I said, you know what? I'm going to order this limited edition Steelbook, and I will check it out when it comes in. So I have done everything I can to avoid all reviews, all spoilers, all trailers. I knew nothing going into this thing except that I wasn't planning on liking this thing at all. So before I get into what I thought about this movie, I just want to get into this Steelbook edition. This is that Walmart limited edition Steelbook. So you got that cool artwork on the front. I really like that. And you got that image of art on the back from the movie with the glasses on. And then inside you've got, you know, the disc, and then it's got like an animated artwork inside. So again, cool edition, Steelbook. I thought the poster art was really cool, so I figured this is the one I was going to jump on, especially because we considered limited. And I finally sat down and watched this last night, and I want to kind of tell you what I thought. Okay, so a brief summary on this movie was it takes place on Halloween night, which is pretty cool. Art the Clown was dead at the end of the first one, and somehow just magically comes back to life by some kind of entity or something like that, and then he just starts killing again. The thing about Art the Clown is I really don't get it. I don't understand like what his motive is. Is he just a serial killer? Is he human? Is he not? I really just don't understand that part of this Art the Clown character. I know he doesn't really speak. You do get more of him here in the sense of, I felt like you really got to learn a little bit more about him here. He was a lot more animated. He wasn't just one-dimensional like the first one. So that's kind of my first thoughts on Art, but at the same time, like I said, I was really confused on like why he came back to life and what his motive is here. So when this movie first starts and you start meeting a lot of these characters, the one thing that really drew me into this movie was the music. Now, me being a huge fan of synthwave music, when I heard that song from Midnight kick on right away, I was like, ooh, I like this. This is my style. I feel like synthwave and horror just match so perfectly. So when I heard that song, that familiar song to me, I was like, all right, I'm in right now. Right now, I'm in. They introduced you to the first character, Sienna, played by Lauren Lavera. I'm not familiar with her, but I'm going to say she did a really good job in this movie. I thought for what she was given, she did excellent. She was very believable. I just liked that character a lot. And then later on in the story, she's back in her room doing something else, and all of a sudden you hear Miami Nights 1984 music hit. And I'm like, all right, I really like the jams that they're choosing here. That synth wave, then there's some aspects of like more like heavy metal. So I really like the score and the soundtrack for this. Now again, one of my biggest gripes with the original one was I felt like it was gory just to be gory. And I heard that this was far worse than the first one. So I was expecting just craziness, grotesque, unnecessary gore just to be gory. And to be honest, I was expecting to just hate it, but I actually kind of feel like the gore in this worked. Again, like I said, I don't hate gore, but it just matters on how we're doing it. And I feel like with this character that we're starting to learn about, he's just sadistic and he enjoys doing it. And it almost kind of brought you back to the franchises of the 80s with these slashers where some of these kills were just off the wall and almost fun in a way. Yeah, they were gory and gross, but it was kind of almost done in like a tongue-in-cheek kind of way, in my opinion. Like, I mean, it was ruthless, but it had like this charm element to it. And it's weird for me to say that because, again, I'm not a gore hound. Like, a lot of these, like, murder set pieces and toe tag and all that stuff, like Cannibal Holocaust, like all these category 3 movies, like, these aren't my style movies. So again, I didn't think I was going to actually enjoy this based on how much gore I heard this thing had, but it was almost like done in a way that it kind of just worked for me. I wasn't saying this is too far, this is too much. I didn't. I actually thought it was kind of cool, and I think what made it pretty cool to me was that the effects were really good here. This was a lot of practical effects. Some of the stuff that we saw is things that we don't see at all anymore. So I was really kind of taken back, and I'm like, all right, you know what? It's gory, it's a little bit gross, but at the same time, it kind of works because of the way it's being done. So I did not hate it. I thought I was going to hate the gore in this. I thought it was going to be unnecessary. I think this is so much better than the first one. Not just because it was a little more intense, because I heard them talking on the special features, like, how are we going to top the chainsaw scene? And I feel like they did, but it was almost while telling a story. And that's the one thing that the first one I felt like didn't have. It just didn't have a good story. It was kind of like he was just chasing these girls around for the whole movie and then just kind of cutting them up unnecessarily. And I just feel like what we got here actually worked. And I hate to say it, but I will say I actually enjoyed this movie. I wasn't expecting to at all. I actually felt like it was pretty cool. Is it like best horror movie of the year? In my opinion, no. Is it something that's going to be considered a cult classic? I think so. This is something I'm probably going to watch again. The actors in this that really stood out to me, like I said, was the actress that played Sienna. I'm also going to say the little girl in this was really, really good. She didn't have a lot, but she really just worked it when it came to the facials and the way she looked. I thought that she did a fantastic job. It's a pretty cool character. I'm not really sure what that character means right now. Another thing is obviously David Howard Thornton is really getting over as this art character. And again, I'm kind of getting won over a little bit by this character when it came to this movie itself. Like I said, the first one to me, I do not like it one bit. I'll never watch that again. But this one, yeah, I'll probably check it out one more time at least, just because I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Maybe they explained a little bit more about this character and why he's a certain way. So I'll probably check it out again to see if I can kind of connect the dots a little bit better. But yeah, I thought that a lot of these characters are really good, really memorable. Like I said, this does get off the wall. The ending, it gets kind of almost supernatural in a way, which I don't hate, but it's starting to build on this character a little bit, and we're kind of learning like what this dude's about. And what I kind of liked about this was the ending. Even though I hated the first one, I kind of like, without trying to spoil it, how the story kind of had a wraparound. I think that was pretty cool how it ended, because it kind of makes you want to say like, oh, what's next? This character that we got reintroduced to, who's, again, the effects look really good. We're going to see more of them. How are they going to play in this story? What's their role going to be? So again, I actually think it was pretty good. Like I said, I'll say it again, I was expecting not to like this at all. I was pretty shocked. I'm not over the moon about it, like this is the greatest thing ever, but I am impressed with what I saw. I know this thing did buco bucks in the box office unexpectedly, so we know there's more of these coming. And again, as long as they can try to keep a decent story going here, I'm all in. I think that's really what threw me off in the original one, is I felt like they were just trying to win you over with gore and nothing else, and shock value. And I feel like this one kind of had some of that, but at the same time, it kind of felt like a true slasher movie. So guys, that is my quick review of Terrifier 2. And man, I was expecting to say this thing was bad, but I'm going to say I thought this thing was pretty rad. I know most people really enjoyed this a lot. So leave in the comments down below, what did you think of Terrifier 2? For something I had no intention of ever watching, I was pleasantly surprised, I will say. And I know a lot of people in my circle were really excited to hear what I had to say about this, because I was really negative going into this. So guys, there you have it. I will say I was impressed with Terrifier 2. I thought it was pretty fun. And if you like stuff like this, please make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you're not subscribed and you're checking this out for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. We've got videos popping a couple times a week. We talk all things movie, horror, nostalgia, 80s, 90s you're going to find here. Got a lot of collaborations coming up. I want you guys to be a part of it. If you see me go live, please come in and say what's up. I love interacting with you guys. And this is Garrett at Born2BeRad. And like always, stay rad.